Hi everyone, my name is Julia M. Spencer. I'm a real estate advisor, investor, and still, hopefully, your number one source for real estate advice online. In this video, we're going to talk about being taken advantage of. Before we get to the topic, I wanted to just remind you to subscribe right here. Send me a message right here on YouTube. You can leave me a comment at the bottom of this video or any video and I'll see it. If you go to my website at juliamspencer.com, you get a free guide to real estate investing. I do want to reach out to you all and be proactive in keeping a community going here. So let me just tell you, I actually wanted to make this video a couple days ago, but here we are. This is a really important video and I wanted to kind of set the right tone for it because I don't want to sound like I'm angry or upset or mean or want to pay back anybody anything, and I'm not gonna say any names, but this video is really about being taken advantage of and what you need to understand in the business of being a real estate investor or really any business, and what you need to expect and know how to deal with. So real estate in itself, unless you are a realtor, for the most part, is a man's business. It really is that way because most of the real estate investors I know, the people I work with, most of them are men. Maybe they're a man-woman team or a husband and wife team, but there's not really a whole lot of women investors that are doing this solo like I have been for all these years. So I'm a little bit the exception. On top of that, I live in the South. I live in Savannah, Georgia, which is a very traditional area of the country. The values of the traditional life are still very much in place here in terms of what kind of business setup most people have. And that's all fine. I get accused constantly by my friend Jason Hartman, who's my very dear friend, and hello Jason if you're watching this. I'll put his website down here at the bottom, but he says, hey, you're not turning all feminist on me, are you? And his preference, of course, has always been for women that are meek and shy, which is not me. But at the same time, I'm not a feminist. I very much love cooking and taking care of my children and decorating, and I like painting, and I love music, and I would have loved to have a girly profession but I couldn't find one that would make me enough money to be independent and raise my kids when my husband left. So here we are, and I'm not complaining. I like real estate. But let's talk a little bit about being taken advantage of as a woman in this business. And I'm going to share a couple of stories here which might surprise you in this day and age. We are making this video in 2024. Actually, it is, I believe, January 15th. So we're already 2 weeks into the new year. And these stories are kind of to tell you that if you're a woman in this business or any business on your own, just be careful. Be careful, watch your back, pay very good attention, be alert of what's going on around you. Let me just talk about a recent story. I'm going to just blurt it right out, and I'll probably get a lot of criticism for this. So I recently had somebody I've known for a little while who has helped me with construction work in my homes and has helped me fixing things. I'm just gonna say it how it is because it's actually difficult to talk about this. Friendship developed. That was what I thought was just a normal friendship between just two people that knew each other, friends. And right from the get-go, I could feel that this person, it was a male, kind of wanted to make advances at me, basically. I'm going to say it the most neutral way that I can. He's kind of in the same business as me, so we would meet at my house or his house, and there were several to repair things because there would be something that I wouldn't know how to do. On one of those occasions, this particular person started to just make very much inappropriate remarks and advances. And when I refused to acknowledge them, that particular person undressed themselves and started to masturbate in front of me. Now you might think, oh my God, this really happened to you. I'm so sorry. But the sad thing about this is not the first time this happened. And I'm not saying just with this person. This happened to me with not many, but several other guys. This has happened to me before. And this is not something I invited. I didn't ask for it. I don't think I made any remarks that would have triggered this. But in general, the people that have done things like this to me know that I'm single. I've been single for a long time, that I don't, most of the time, doing work on my own at my houses, and a lot of people are of the impression that if I'm such a needy person and I need somebody to help me with my home, that I might need some help in the sex department too, which I don't. So it is very difficult for me to talk about this, and I'm not bitter or angry about this. I kind of accepted it as the fact of life a long time ago. I'll just tell you how that story ended. I ended up leaving the room and walked out of the house. After that, I didn't talk to this person for about 2 years. And after those 2 years, I finally approached, because he's still kind of around, because we just run across each other quite a bit. And so I basically told him that particular instance was completely out of line. I was very upset by it. I would like to not have this happen again. And this is a married man. And the sad thing is that I thought we understood each other, everything was fine, and then more things happened that kind of got us back to this point again. And so in this case, I basically am avoiding this person permanently now. On another occasion, I'm going to switch to a different story because I wanted to explain that this is not normal. That this is not normal, obviously, but that it is quite common. On another occasion, I had a long-term friend, a married man also, who was working with very closely on many projects, and he repeatedly just kept asking me via text message to send him nudes. It's hard for me to say this because I've trusted this person, and I shared a lot of things with this person that I thought were of personal nature as a friend, and I didn't expect that. And in one occasion I was actually told, well, I help you out with the houses, you could do something for me. And meaning that every once in a while to be sent some nudes would be in addition to the normal payment that I already make with a monetary means. And this was another person that I had to put basically away because there's no way for me to continue a business relationship like this with somebody. So these are the rough stories. On another occasion, it was another gentleman, an older gentleman that I know very well, who invited me to another city so we could go to an auction together. I ended up saying, yeah, I'll come, but I will book, my own flight, my own hotel. He's like, oh, don't worry, I have miles, I can just give you the flight information. And then he put me up in a hotel, my own room, of course, invited himself over and decided he wanted, to get it on with me. That didn't happen again, and that was another time that I said, no, I'm sorry, if you want to go to this auction with me as a friend and do some investing together, it's going to have to be on a friend-to-friend basis, and there's not going to be a relationship between us. But if our friendship is based on the fact that it gets sexual, then thank you very much. I will, do my own thing. Again, the person understood, but every time I declined anybody, and I have declined everybody really that's ever made advances at me that way, the business relationship subsequently was strained. So sadly, when you have real estate, another thing that happens is people take advantage of you because you have something to provide to them. And in my case, it's real estate. And we are very much in a place where living space is very scarce, affordable living space, and everybody is out for their own good, basically. And so a lot of people make approaches to people that have something to offer, like real estate. So I've had friends that hit me up with a cheap place to stay, or a free place to stay, or free getaway, or free advice. I don't mind, and I've given more free accommodations to people than I can count. And this is not my family or friends that come to visit me, maybe from another country. I'm talking people that actually live here. And in one instance, of course, I had a friend that I met through my son, whose mom was a single mom as well, and she stayed in one of my places for free for 3 months. Supposedly, it was just going to be 1 month until she could find another place to live. That ended up being 2, then it ended up being 3. Of course, I got nothing for this. I actually paid for the utilities even. And you might think this is really stupid, but I was raised that if you can help, then you should help. And you have to really understand where your boundaries are with this particular help. And you have to understand that people will take advantage of any kind of lack in boundaries. So it takes me to my heart, honestly, personally, when I hear comments on this channel, for example, that are hate mail, or, I've seen comments where basically people said, oh, I'm so glad I financed my landlord's vacations for the last 5 years, by paying the rent, but they don't see that we actually do a lot for our tenants. Like, we actually do bend over backwards. I make sure everything's clean. I make sure everything's working. I accommodate left and right and backwards and forwards. And for my friends, I give free places to stay. There was another gentleman actually that came to visit me, an old friend, who ended up staying in one of my houses for about a week. He was just gonna visit for a couple days, but after the week he sent me a message and he said, well, I'm gonna try to see if I can find a job here, so for the next month or two, and it's cool that I stay here, right? And so I was like, wait a minute, I signed up to host you for a week, and I'm taking the hit on not getting the income on that week because I'm not going to charge my friends, but I didn't sign up to host you for free for a couple months until you get a job. So it's just really difficult. Another thing that's going on right now, which you may have known, is I had somebody working with me for about 2 years, and I have people working with me on and off, had people working with me on and off for the last 10 years. This last particular person was an amazing person, a good friend of the family, helped me with my mom when she was ill and staying here with us. When my kids were little, when we had the whole COVID thing going on, he helped me a lot. And, came really close to the family. The way it all broke up is the unfortunate fact that he's an alcoholic, and that's not even that big of an issue. The problem is that he doesn't see that there's a problem. and that's really the problem with alcoholics. So he's been asking me for a year and a half now to come back and work, and I keep asking the same question. Hey, are you gonna quit drinking, or do I have to get back on the roller coaster? Because if I do, then no, I'm out. I can handle this on my own. And so I'm getting a lot of hate there. Not hate, but it's like people expect you to roll out the red carpet for them, but they're not willing to do the changes that are necessary from them to get them to a changed life. And so last but not least, people like myself, landlords, believe it or not, we do make a lot of money. The income is pretty good, especially if you have income producing real estate that is basically rented out and you're banking money for renting it out. I mean, being a landlord is profitable. It really is. But where you're getting screwed here, being taken advantage of here these days are the governments, I mean, our county government, our city government, everybody wants to have a share, and you're being taxed out the wazoo. One of my properties, the mortgage payment, which is escrowed, has gone up by 1/3 of what it was. So instead of having a payment of $1,000 a month, it's now $1,500, simply because of the taxes. So I understand property values are going up, taxes will go up. I understand all that. I'm just saying is like when we transfer these costs to our tenants, because we have to, we get anger from our tenants. We get anger from our tenants. We get anger from our governments for not being able to pay these taxes. Some people just can't afford it, I have fixed mortgages. I've always had fixed mortgages because I don't want my mortgage payment to fluctuate. But with these increased tax payments, it's fluctuating, and it's fluctuating a lot. It's like having an adjustable rate mortgage, basically. So the other thing that happened today, people like myself are trying to make extra bucks on the side by having this YouTube channel right here, and all my videos, well, not all of them, but most of them were monetized. So I was making a little bit money on the side with the ads, but of course YouTube decided, hey, you haven't really been active in the last 6 months, let's just demonetize all your content and you got to work for this again. So here we are again. Thank goodness I can't be bought with money. Some very, very smart person told me one day, a long time ago, they said, don't ever let money make decisions for you. And here I am. I really don't care if my channel is monetized or not. It helps, but if it's not monetized, that's fine too. I'm just happy when people are watching it and they have comments, and I can help them maybe with a question or answer anything that they have an issue with, or untangle their problem, or at least guide them in the right direction. So that was my first and foremost plan when I started the YouTube channel, and that is still the goal of it, even 8 years later that we are now, or almost 9 years later actually. So however, it does help. So watch my videos. If you like them, share them. If you don't like them, leave me comments so I can make different ones. So what do I want to try to say with all of this? People are going to take advantage of you, and it's going to be ugly. It's really going to be ugly. People are going to make sexual remarks at you. Thank goodness, hopefully you're not going to get assaulted. That hasn't, well, it's happened to me, but not since I've been working in real estate anyways. But it's rough out there. I mean, this is not for the meek, you're gonna have to grow a thick skin. My skin is I think it kind of stayed the same. I roughed up in some spots, and in other places I got softer, so with age. So I don't know if that neutralizes itself out. Probably does. But I think what the most important thing is, which is what I was talking about recently to one of my students, she asked me, she's like, so what do you do with these properties once you have them? Do you sell them? Do you rent them? What do you do? when you get them at the tax sale, wherever you get them. And my answer was, you need to learn how to upscale your business, of course, if you're getting started, but you also need to learn how to downscale. It's also a discussion I had with my friend Jason Hartman, who's got many, many more properties than I do, and he's made enough money for many lives over. But he lives alone with his dog. He doesn't have any kids. His mom is older, and I've never heard him talk about any other relatives, but that's sad, that's a sad life. I'm sure he has lots and lots of friends, but it's just, when you've done working and making money, what do you do this for? What is your actual purpose in life? So not only the upscaling is important, but also the downscaling. So my current plan right now is to map out the rest of my life. I don't know if any of you knew, but I just recently turned 50, the big 50. So I need to figure out how I'm gonna best distribute what I've made in my life and what I've done and what is important to me and who I want to reach and what I want my legacy to be, in other words. And my legacy is not a fat bank account, for sure. So take care of yourself. That's very important. I've neglected that too. So sauna, exercise, regularly get offline. Turn off the phone. It will not hurt you to turn off your phone and your TV and your radio and everything else for 24 hours. Does not hurt. And people will get angry at you, but eventually people will learn that you take that luxury for yourself. And they will just, wait and contact you the next day. So learn to upscale, but also learn to downscale, downsize. Don't take things too seriously, and learn when to say no. And that goes for people as well as business endeavors or anything else. So last but not least, I wanted to add, if any of you had scheduled anything on my calendar lately, there's been a mishap with my scheduling software. So if you scheduled something and I didn't talk to you or I didn't reach out to you, please do it again. The link that you have, it works still, so just use it again. And hopefully we can connect. And I still do mentoring. I still try to help people get into this business. Look forward to hear from you all. Please stay on the channel and make comments, give me feedback. I might want to say don't get ugly, because there's no need to get ugly. If you have a criticism that's justified, it can be worded in normal, kind words. But of course, haters will be haters, so I'll just let you guys all go. That's all I really have to say. Long video, short explanation, kind of difficult to talk about. Do not worry, my spirit is not bent. I have ideas what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and it's gonna be great. Bye-bye. Subscribe, don't forget, send me messages. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
For your free guide to real estate investing, visit juliamspencer.com.
And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hi, kitty. Cat. I'll try to get to it. There's a couple of things. There's a cat. See? It's not my cat. It's somebody else's cat. My cat is inside. I love cats. Anyway, I'm gonna think about that. I'm not sure. I don't want to be on the phone all day. But there's my cat. That wasn't my cat. Hello. Okay, we'll let him sit here. I'm a girly's girl. I really am. How should I word this best without offending anybody? Because it's a difficult topic. I hate to talk about this because this is so personal. However, do not worry, my spirit is not bent